All right, what's going on, boys and girls? So we're going to be talking about Microsoft Edge coming to Linux. And the day and age Microsoft is putting out technology for Linux. Using open source technology. Even weirder. Even weirder. So here's my take on it. Props. Thanks, Microsoft. Thanks for Edge. Thanks for Teams. Thanks for a non-shitty, outdated version of Skype. That's the pragmatist. That's the everyday user. That aside, to those on the Linux community who bitch, moan, complain all about it's $, it's micro shit, it's micro shaft. Please shut the fuck up. Because you are probably this first motherfucker to actually go and install Google Chrome on a fresh install of a Linux distro. Your words mean fucking nothing. But you guys will be the first and the loudest to speak. So let the other fucking sane elements of the community speak to you. Fuck off. Edge coming to Linux is a good thing. Another alternative. Oh, well, it's using Chromium. So doesn't Google Chrome, so doesn't Vivaldi. Here's this weird thing. Linux users like to talk about standards. Oh, we need one desktop, we need one distro, etc. The industry has actually made that essentially what happened with web technologies. There's one browser base, and it's Chromium shit. As far as, and I'm not calling Chromium shit, I'm just saying that Chromium is the standard now. Firefox is doing its own thing, always has. The rest of the web-based industry, as far as a browser standard, has fallen onto Chromium. That's just what it is. So this is going against the adage of, hey, we have 13 standards, let's make a standard. Now we have 14 standards. And honestly, I'm actually kind of okay with that. The irony for people that talk about privacy, especially this particular group of the Linux crowd, I'm not saying all Linux people. You know, I posted some props and a thanks to Microsoft on Twitter about Teams and, you know, Edge coming to Linux, all that stuff. And I meant it. And of course, the ironic part, somebody jumps in who's called, you know, they sit there and talk about Microsoft being the Edge being the surveillance browser for insert government here. To which I state, okay, cool, that's your take, whatever. I find it ironic that you're using a platform that has had just as many privacy violations and worked with the government just as much as Microsoft and violates your privacy. Yet you feel the need to comment on it about a browser doing the same damn thing. Says a lot. People will have ideals until they get in the way. You have a point to make. Oh, well, I'm going to go use Twitter. You know, I'm fine. And this is where the pragmatist of me comes in. Because I look at hurdles and I look at reality of the situations. A lot of these others do not. I'm not saying the privacy concerned people fall into that. It's the hypocrites. Because that's what you fucking are. You like to run your fucking mouth and a lot of shit comes out of it. You have the 10 assholes on your fingers and you like to cover screens in your shit. But really at the end of the day, if something gets in your way of doing something, and you have an ideal about it, that ideal goes down because you need to get over that hurdle. Ideals are usually generically about all or nothing. If you're quote unquote the idealist. So what's it gonna be? I keep a cautious eye and a cautious view on Microsoft. They have a long track record of prior people in charge not being friendly to open source, Linux in general. This isn't the Ballmer or the Gates era of Microsoft. This is Satya Nadella now. Different dude, different outlook, trying to change a 30 plus year culture. It's not going to happen overnight. He's been 6 years, give or take. It's gonna take time. And people can sit there and say, well, everything they do and have done has been for their bottom dollar. Newsflash, 99.999% of any for-profit company that contributes to open source, the only thing and the only reason they're doing it is for their bottom dollar. I don't care if it's Red Hat. I don't care if it's Canonical. I don't care if it's SUSE. I don't care if it's IBM. I don't care if it's Oracle. Take your pick. They are looking at it from a bottom dollar perspective at the end of the day. They are worried about the bean counters and the shareholders. They can talk ideology all they want, and they can talk a great game, but really, to me, that's not the case. They fund those things because they view them in a certain light. So, if you are on the ideal train, keep a cautious eye for the past Microsoft as the current one tries to inch its way forward. And point them back to the prior one that they're starting to act like. But don't continuously be the douchebags who, in spite of, Linux communities talk about growth and all the other stuff. Don't be the person who continuously makes them constantly remember every stupid thing they've done. Because really, at the end of the day, you're going to tell them they're being an ass. I'm going to tell the hypocrites and those type of Linux users that the only thing that you're really being, and you really do, is had your head shoved up yours.